Franchising is the most misunderstood and most overlooked form of entrepreneurship. We're here to educate you and help you find the entrepreneur within. Franchising is not all about the French fries.
We find that individuals who are exploring business ownership tend to have a lot of misperceptions and misunderstandings about the franchise industry. So what we want to do is help prospective business owners make confident and educated decisions before moving forward or not moving forward with a business. Welcome to Unpredicted Entrepreneur.
Hello, and welcome to episode 86 of Unpredicted Entrepreneur. My name is Sara Waskow, and I am joined by my colleague, Roxanne Rapske. And we created this podcast to bring you information and education about business ownership and franchising. And we are very thrilled today to welcome our guest, Andy Kumar. Andy and I met just a couple of weeks ago, actually, and I was so impressed by him that I immediately said, would you like to join us on our podcast and share your story? Andy is the owner. He's a multi-unit franchisee with 17 McDonald's. He has a great story as to how he evolved into this multiple unit, being a multi-unit franchisee. So I want him to share it with you guys today. So Andy, welcome.
Well, thank you so much for having me in the podcast. I appreciate that. My name is Andy Kumar. I own and operate 17 restaurants here in North Texas, in Dallas area. Basically, it was something that I had never thought about it, that I'll end up into McDonald's. I was one of the regular guy working at a gas station,
But how'd you get to the gas station? Because that's interesting. You have a law degree.
Absolutely.
And then came to the U.S.
Right.
For what was going to be 90 days to just kind of, well, you tell your story.
Well, so I obtained a law degree in India, and my brother who was here 3 years prior to me, he wanted me to come and check it out, after my college. He's like, come, visit the country, see what you like. And I came here, just never dreamt about staying here, right? It was just supposed to be a 90-day visa and a vacation and go back and pursue my career in law. But I just fell in love with the country, and the climate and the nature, and everything was so beautiful here. And except for the law degree, there wasn't anything that was really holding me back there. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give another shot. So I extended my visa for another 6 months and so on for at least 12 months. And then after that, I was like, I'm probably going to stay here. So the way I ended up at a gas station is I just met a common friend of ours, and he asked me, are you working? I said, no. I said, would you like to work? I said, yes. He said, show up at that store. And I just showed up the next day at 12 o'clock. And here, I just never thought about it, doing the gas station business. And I ended up working there 5.5 years. Wow. And but that was, I believe, one of the best things that happened to me, because being a gas station or working at a gas station as an employee, I was exposed to the customers. That's where I developed my skills with the customer relationship. I realized the importance of hard work, paying attention to the details. Building relations with the clientels, building relations with the communities you work at. So that really came pretty handy as I transitioned myself into the McDonald's franchise. So
you worked there, and then did you own a couple of gas stations too?
I did.
Okay.
So after 5.5 years, I ended up buying, that's pretty much what I knew in this country how to do, right? So I ended up buying myself a gas station, and then, I worked just my butt off there, there was no looking back. I mean, I had an opportunity and I just had to cash it in. And I was working long hours and just getting engaged with the customers and trying to build a very rundown business into close to $1 million revenue a year from, I believe it was $340,000 a year.
So you acquired an existing one.
I did acquire an existing one, very rundown, as I said, but it's just like when you have nothing in the back, nothing in the front, and what you have on your plate, is that what you have, right? And you just had to make it happen. And that was the one opportunity I got. And I just there's no looking back. I just kept on going and going and going. And by the time 2010 happened, I had 5 gas stations.
Wow. And these were all independently owned gas
Absolutely.
stations, right?
It was mom and pop, neighborhood convenience stores, gas stations.
So not a franchise.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And then somehow you started researching and you had looked at a couple of other brands, right? And then how did you kind of evolve? You were pursuing McDonald's, but it took a long time to get them. So you were looking at other options. I remember you sharing with me.
Right.
Yeah.
So by 2014 happened, and I was I had done the gas station. I learned it, what to do and all that. And I was like, I was
ready for a challenge.
Yeah, ready for a challenge. I was also comfortable where I could have an easier life if I chose to, but I challenged myself. I was like, I need to do something more. I got more in me than kind of thing. So I started applying into fast food businesses. And
so wait, I want to back up a little bit because you said something when we were doing our prep call about being a mom and pop and not wanting to be a mom and pop anymore and understanding you were attracted to a system.
Correct.
So you started pursuing franchising.
Correct.
In general, and then it was food, and then, right?
Yes. So, in gas station business, running as a mom and pop, and with me being the only one, you can only go so far because it's a very unorganized or not as organized, I would say. And if I needed to take a very big leap in my life, I had to get into something which is a proven track record or a system and that works and that has been proven. So I did. That's what got me into looking into franchise. And obviously, food was one thing that everybody needs. So I thought I'll get into that, and I started applying for pretty much all the fast food .coms, right? McDonald's.com, and so did everything, and no experience, no knowledge. But running your independent business also gives you an opportunity to explore things on your own. What works best for your business? What tweaks you can make in your business so it can turn into profitable. So you have that freedom there, but at the same time, you can only go so far with that kind of thing. A lot of family members required, a lot of dependence on employees. Not only that, but also where you needed a system where I can bring somebody in and I can train, and then I can multiply that into multiple units. So that's what got me into the McDonald's business.
Yeah. So did you end up selling the gas stations?
I did.
Yes.
So here it goes. When McDonald's called me and they said, well, at this point, we don't want you to sell any business or anything like that. You'll have to work at a McDonald's as a crew member, basically. It's a training program that's a very proven, one of the best training programs. It's called Independent Development Program, which is pretty much self-based. You can finish it at that time it was 12 to 18 months. So it took me 17 months there because I was still running my business, not knowing that. Because I wasn't sure once I finish, the next day I will have a restaurant, once you
so
get
you needed to keep the gas station profitable
Absolutely.
And going. And I remember you saying that you worked at McDonald's until like late in the afternoon or evening, and then you went to the gas station.
Yes.
And,
so I will switch my shift where I'll go in 7:30 a.m. and work till 2 o'clock, come back and at the gas station work till close 11 o'clock and so on. Or sometimes I close at 11. I'll go overnight with them, try to see the different phases of the restaurant business and,
Wow.
And so it was, but, at the same time, it never felt that I was working that many hours. It never felt that I'm doing anything extra or I'm getting tired. It just kept me going because I could see the light beyond that one day, it's like a dream come true kind of thing, right? One day I'm going to own a McDonald's franchise. And obviously it's a good proven track record, the international horsepower that McDonald's is, I want to be a part of it. So that drive kept me going. So that was really interesting at that moment.
Yeah, I mean, that was your why for sure, kept you going.
Well, and luckily you were young.
Yeah, he was young.
Still young.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
Well, I mean, age is technically not any reason should be. I was 32 when I started the business. The gas station business, and I was in the middle of my life as well at that time. So, but it's the drive. It's to drive. It's something that you want to achieve, something that you want to have for yourself and your family and be able to give back to the community, so it's beautiful.
And let's talk about that, because that's really important to you, giving back to the community. And you do a lot of mentoring and nonprofit contributions and things like that. So tell us more about how you give back.
Let me tell you, where I come from, if I look back 25 years and owning McDonald's franchise and being able to a little bit successful in my life, it has a lot of blessings and that blessings has, it's like what I believe in, like of everyone, more is given, more is expected, so if God has given me an opportunity and a blessings to be where I am today, I would like to give back, right? I mean, and no one has gotten poorer by giving back, So.
That's right. Yeah. And you mentioned today one of your McDonald's is in commerce, and you just established a scholarship for Texas A&M Commerce.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I had that desire to do something for the students and kind of thing. So as soon as I got the restaurant 4 months ago, I was like, this is it. This is God brought me here. It's a college town. And, and I was like, I set up a scholarship under me and my wife's name for the School of Business.
Wow. That's wonderful. I love hearing that. So you have how many McDonald's now?
I have 17 restaurants.
17. Yes. And it evolved over 10 years that you've had the 17?
No, I've been in McDonald's 7 years, and most of my growth, I would say 15 out of the 17 came in my first 4.5 years.
Wow. Well, and you do a lot for your employees too. I mean, you have like a whole, I mean, you mentor the youth. I mean, I feel like you're getting them early and teaching them about business and leadership. So you do more than just hire employees. You
the best thing that I heard from whenever I walk in the restaurant and there's a 17-year-old kid from high school working there, and they look at me, it's like, Mr. Andy, how are you? I would like to be one day like you. I said, absolutely. If I could do it, there's no reason why you can't. So it's like, okay, tell me, how can I get there? I was like, well, you got to keep that fire going. Okay. Doesn't matter where you start, always keep that fire going. With your ambition, it does take some work. It's going to take some work. It's going to need some sacrifices. Big things come with big sacrifices. So it has been good. And it is, what they say is like to be able to do for the people. This is an opportunity here where, you have so many employees and so many people in your family, we call it, that you can really impact. There, all kind of people in there, young, middle-aged, seniors, challenge people. So you can really impact people's life if you choose to and if you like to. And that's so rewarding, and that's, I guess, is one thing that should be always out there for any successful people, to give back and be able to mentor or to be able to encourage someone to get there. There's a lot of stories that I have, where some of our students have taken the benefit of the McDonald's scholarship and gone to the colleges, and then they call me back. It's like, hey, Andy, I'm reading this book. I see a lot of things that you talked to me about. So that has been wonderful, rewarding to listen back.
Super impressive. Awesome. Real world education.
Absolutely.
Do you also mentor other franchise owners? Because you kind of made a name for yourself. I think you said you were referred to as, you were like the new Indian guy in town, and people were even kind of like spying on you in your restaurants. Like, how is he doing all this? So
Absolutely.
Kind of tell us about that.
So when I became a franchisee in town or acquired the restaurants in town, I was probably there was nobody has acquired in the last 7 to 10 years since I was the new guy in the town, right? So I started
in Dallas, because everything's sold out here,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, and you took over some struggling stores when you first started, right?
Well, that was one of the reasons of my growth. Is there were restaurants that were struggling, challenging neighborhoods, low revenue, but that's where I saw the benefit of it, right? I mean, that's where I see that it's already hitting the rock bottom. You're only going to go up on that, and it has been so profitable, or it has been so rewarding to acquire those restaurants. A lot of them needed reinvestment. Hey, I'm not afraid of that, right? You got to give back to the restaurant or to the business for business to produce. You got to put the money in to make the money, kind of thing, right? So it did help. So nothing is wrong. None of the business is wrong, or I would say that challenging neighborhood, whatever that definition people gave. For me, it's an opportunity. Anything that I see an opportunity. I picked up 6 restaurants 2 hours away from here. I drive down there and I see the opportunities. I see open field. I was like, there's a new town coming in. There's going to be a new McDonald's one day, and that's going to be for me. Kind of thing. So you see an opportunity versus looking at, what I tell them is like, when it comes to looking too much into finance, I'll let my CPA figure that out. What I know best, I'm going to maximize on that, which is the operation. And if you can get that going, everything falls in line. There are restaurants that have doubled in the revenue in less than 3 years and things like that. So there's beautiful story. And obviously, you start with the people. There's people that work in the restaurant, and the restaurants that you pick up, you listen to them because they've been there before you got there, right? So you listen to them, what exactly they need and what are the things that bothers them. So the way I look at it is the profitability of any business should not come from customer's pocket. It should come from the efficiency of your business. How would I say that? Efficiency of your floor. So be efficient in what you are doing, and it will pay back. And it does involve the building, people, landscaping, the customer relations, community engagement. So it's not like a one thing that you can invest into and you can move on. You have to embrace the entire thing into it. All the aspects of it, and then go back and let the community know we are here for you, and just like the way they are for me, So it helps.
So what types of things do you do in those communities around your restaurants to help promote the business, or get people to come in after it's struggling and maybe they haven't been there? Or
So I'll give you an example of what we did. We acquired one of the restaurants in Oak Cliff here in Dallas, and it does have little vagrants out there, or some opportunity people. We call them like not so lucky kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the year one I acquired in July and November. In November, on the Thanksgiving, we did the Thanksgiving meal to anybody and everybody. All our managers, I threw the idea to the managers, and managers got involved into it from other restaurants. We cooked, we brought the food, and it wasn't the burger, it was the Thanksgiving meal.
That's what I was going to ask you. Did they get a quarter pounder?
Potatoes and the desserts and all those kind of things. So. And believe me, it was featured at national TV as well. Somehow they got to know about it and they came in. So since then, I've been doing it. Since 2018, I've been doing it every year. And
so how many meals do you normally deliver?
So my first year, it was 232. And it has been, I've lost the count since then, but we prep it that it's never going to run out.
So do you prepare them in the McDonald's?
No. We prepare them at our house. We bring them. We set up a table in our playland, and we, people know in that community, there's a Thanksgiving.
So they come to you. It's like a buffet.
Correct.
You do all the cooking, and then they can come eat there.
Yes, food containers. We give it to them.
Wow.
And then they eat. They take for their family members. Hey, I'm good with that. So it has been one of those things that you engage with the community and see the opportunities where it is, and try to see what you can give it back to the community at that, what is the need of that business? What is the need of that community is, and there are like veterans, I have 2 restaurants by the veterans, VA hospital. So every Veterans Day, we do in the veterans meal, we send them sandwiches, 300, 400 sandwiches and apple pies and so on. And our marketing company from McDonald's co-op as well take part into that. So we work together, and there's a lot of our self-initiative as per the need of my restaurant. And there are sometimes they partner with us. And we recently did one veterans hiring day of event here off Mockingbird Lane. And we partnered with UNI organization called UNI, and we have students from the candidates from there who are little challenged in their life and they want to transition into normal life. So we hire them as the brand ambassadors. We have them in the lobbies, open the door, pick up the trays, nothing heavy work. But they are all, it's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful to see that you are being able to impact people's life, and they are happiest as is, fist bump and those kind of things all going on. So,
wow. That's amazing. Good for you. So my next question is, do you ever sleep?
I know, right? Well, let me tell you, as when you start your business or when you're in your initial days, yes, you're going to have some sleepless nights, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're not having a sleepless night, you ain't creating something big. Okay. That's just the way it is. It's not always going to be a 40-hour job and Saturday, Sundays off, and then still trying to create something that's substantial for yourself and for the community and for the brand. But yes, with the help of the people that we have, people is an asset. You always have to invest into your people, find the right talent out there, build a team, and then be able to grow with them. And it is the beautiful thing, the people I've hired in my year 2, year 1, I was everything, picking up the trash bags all the way to taking the cash to the bank, right? So, but when you build a team and they're all aligned and they understand your vision and then you grow with them, it feels, it's a total different feeling, the people that has been with you from the day one kind of thing. So
do you have people that have been with you from day one?
Yes. So my year 2, I had hired one area supervisor. She's still with us. And then the year 2, I acquired 4 restaurants. So I picked up a few more. So all that it happened as we grew.
Wow.
And, since then we had the people, they joined as we acquired more restaurants.
That's neat.
And then,
It is. It's amazing.
Correct.
And through all of this, I think you were just courting your wife in the beginning when you started all this. You're married. She's been supportive the whole time, right?
So I tell everybody that if you want to do something you always want to make your family along with you. Have a good conversation with your wife, make sure that she's all bought into it, because you don't want to create something on the back end, you're losing your family.
Yep.
That's just not going to work out, right? That's just
no business
absolutely
is worth that.
You want to be able to have people around you so you can share your success with them. Success alone to me does not mean anything, right? Unless I'm able to provide to the people I know or my immediate family, or as a matter of fact, extended Mac family, So you want to be able to share with them. So have this conversation with your wife. It's going to take some long nights, long days, some Sundays and some Saturdays, but it's just initial years, right? Once you grow and you acquire the right kind of people in your organization, things do get better in your life. So.
Are you done? Are you done at 17 McDonald's?
I'm not.
Are you?
So I have had this question keeps coming often, and then I was like, well, growth is one thing that keeps you alive, that keeps you going. And when you have the right amount of people and the right talent in your organization, the sky's the limit. I mean, why stop? And someone who wants to stop could be 2 reasons. Either they have decided to stop or the health is not with them, right? So make sure you take care of your health. Make sure that your people around you or within your team are getting enough days off and things like that, and vacations and all that. That's very important, right? Because their well-being is equally important as my well-being or my family's well-being. Otherwise, you can't go too far, right? So what they say, if you want to run fast, go yourself. You want to go farther, take along.
Yeah.
So, you want to take along some people with you if you really want to go farther. So
that's so true.
I like that. It is true. It is true. So. You have got so many great stories and so much great advice. As we wrap up today, if potential business owners, if you had one tip that you could provide a potential business owner, what would that be? What kind of advice would you give them?
Any business is not impossible or difficult. You need to know yourself first. You got to know in your gut feeling that you can do it kind of attitude, right? Nothing can stop you. Or if there is, I didn't have a playbook when I got into McDonald's, right? I didn't know how it's my day 1 going to look like or my day 30th going to look like or 30, 60, 90 days good. It does have a good program, McDonald's does, right? As a human being, when I when I make a decision or acquire a restaurant or got into McDonald's or so, as a matter of fact, even gas station days, I didn't know what my revenue is going to look like. I didn't know what financial is going to look like. I don't know. But I knew one thing, that I know how to work hard. And if I know how to work hard and I want to take people along with me, there's nothing stopping you, right? So got to know yourself first. Make sure your family is with you. Understands you, what you want to do, understand the business, do your research. I spent 17 months learning McDonald's. It was a new thing to me, right? And it helped me.
And you were patient.
Absolutely. Yeah. Patience is the virtue, right?
Yes.
I mean, what I say, young kids in my restaurant also, they say, hey, I want to be a millionaire. You can, but you got to become one first to be able to own $1 million.
Yeah.
Million will come to you. Raise yourself, self-education, continuous education, motivational, listening to that and trying to have that drive in you. It will come to you. It will only go to the people who can handle it.
Yeah.
So you got to grow yourself into it. So same thing, if you want to get into a business, know the business, know yourself, have a good understanding of that business, and don't just look at the revenue part. Revenue is the ultimate goal of some of the things that you do. You can add all those things together, and then the output is the revenue. It will come to you. But if you chase that without doing your A, B, C, and D, it's not going to work, right? So you gotta, if whatever is given to you, do the best out of it. And then so on, the other door will open. And eventually you will see yourself as where you want to see yourself as. So.
Well, thank you, Andy, for bringing all of your energy and your experience. Thank you for taking the time out of your very busy life to share with us. We appreciate
it.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. And I would say that every moment of my life, being as a lawyer, practicing, coming here, working at a gas station, breaking the boxes, cleaning the shelves, stocking, it has never felt, I was never depressed that this is what I'm doing. It was always something that I was learning along with it, right? If I'm working there, I'm learning, understanding the community. I'm understanding customer relationship, hard work, details, So every moment that you get in your life, get something out of it. And that adds up to become who you are and will get you to where you want to be at.
It's all about attitude.
Yep.
Yeah. Great attitude. Yeah. Along with all that energy and experience. For those of you listening, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you taking your time as well. Please follow Sara and I on LinkedIn. We're very active there. I'm Roxanne Rapske, Rapske. Sara with no H, Waskow, Waskow. Please also subscribe to our YouTube channel, FranNet of Dallas, Fort Worth, and Oklahoma. You can learn about what we do at frannet.com. And lastly, you can find Unpredicted Entrepreneur anywhere you like to listen to your podcasts. So thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.